All right, hey everybody, it's David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian, and today I want to talk about the Christians, believe that they pray to their God and their God helps them and he helps them to be good and righteous and holy and he can help them through various situations, troubles, whatever that goes on in their life, and that he's the only God and they believe this wholeheartedly. But I just got the book Meditations by the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He was a Stoic, and as I just started reading this, in book one, Marcus goes over how the people in his life, family and whatever, had helped him. He says his grandmother helped him to learn good morals and to govern his temper. Okay, the great-grandfather to not attend public schools, but to get, what you could say, homeschooling, good teachers at home. His governor to not be in favor of either party, of a political party. Uh, uh, Diogenetus. Now, I might be pronouncing that wrong. It's Diognetus. Diognetus, or Diognetus. Not to busy himself with unimportant things or pay attention to so-called miracle workers, okay? And that's another thing, who say they have the ability to cast spells and drive away demons. When I read that, I'm like, don't we have, if you were a Christian, maybe you were not in that particular sect, but you heard about that quite a bit. Maybe there were missionaries that came to your church that were really not associated with your church, but they did that too, didn't they? So Marcus here is telling me that one of his teachers told him that that is complete bullshit and don't pay attention to it. Back then, the Romans, okay? Sounds very much like Christians. Okay, he told him to enjoy freedom of speech and to become intimate with philosophy, to listen first before speaking. He learned from one that his character needs improvement, to read carefully, to not, to understand before opening your mouth, freedom of will, kind character, to learn to have a kind character. Okay? He learned all these things and other things from these people, whether they were in his family or outside of his family. Okay? Let's see. But then he gets to the gods. Okay? Now the Roman gods were the same as Greek gods, but they had different names. It was, Roman, Zeus was Jupiter, and Ares was Mars, and Poseidon was Neptune, etc. I think Hades in the Greek was Pluto in the Roman. But they had these gods, and these gods, according to Christians, are demonic, or they don't exist at all. They're mythology. Now, we believe them to be mythology. But Marcus Aurelius believed that these gods were real. And he says, to the gods, I am indebted for having good grandfathers, good parents, a good sister, good teachers, good associates, good kinsmen, and friends. Nearly everything good. Okay, so these are demons, but they're giving this guy good people in his life to help him to become a moral, righteous person. A Christian would say that. Well, thank God that I had these people in my life so that I could be led down this path. Okay, because that worked. Okay? I mean, He thanks the gods that he was not brought up by his grandfather's concubine, because that helped him to preserve the flower of his youth, and he did not prove his virility before the proper season. In other words, what do Christians say? Christians say, well, don't go out and have premarital sex. Wait until you're married. That pretty much sounds like what Marcus is saying, and he gives the gods credit for that. When I was reading this, I was sitting there going, man, that just sounds so friggin' familiar, doesn't it, Christian? Or former Christian. Okay? He thanks the gods for giving him a brother who was able to, by his moral character, help him to be vigilant over himself. Okay? Well, thank Jesus that I, have the power to not do that. And I was reading this. This is amazing. Okay? And he said, so far as the gods and their gifts and help and inspiration, nothing hindered me from living according to nature, though I still fall short of it through my own fault and through not observing the warnings of the gods. And what does it say in the Bible? You got to watch that you don't fall short. You got to make sure that you stay here in this Bible and in this Word, and you got to believe in this God and have Him help you so you don't fall short. Marcus is saying, I didn't fall short because I listened to the gods. I did what I believed they told me and what I could learn from other people that they put in my life. There's no difference here. Okay, his gods, in his mind, told him this is what you need to do through other people. This is what you got to do to be a good moral person. Okay, he says, I did not fall into the hands of any particular teacher, and that he's thanking the gods. He said, I did not fall into the hands of any particular teacher, and that I did not waste my time on writers of history or in the discussion of assumed prepositions, or occupy myself about the appearance of heaven, for all these things require the help of the gods and fortune. Okay? A pagan emperor, and these words you've heard come out of Christians. I've said these things when I was a Christian. If you were a Christian, you said that. God helps me. God helps me here. God helps me there. Isn't that amazing? It's almost like I said, these gods we consider to be just mythology. There is no Jupiter. There is no Zeus. There is no Hera. There is no Odin and Thor and etc. But there is this God. This God here. He's real. Those gods ain't. What I think is real is our belief in them. Our belief that what we're doing and how we're working toward a goal with the help and advice of others is our belief in the fact that a God or gods put that in our place. That's what's real. Okay, we have that area in our brain, I don't know where it is anymore, that is all about the imagination. Okay? The imagination. And Marcus Aurelius imagined that the gods were helping him, when it was just people who went through circumstances and learned wisdom and knowledge from them circumstances, like all of us do, telling Marcus how to live. And he learned it, and he wrote it down in a book and said, this is the best way to live because this is what I found out. Not God's. All right? So, that's all I have today. I don't know what I'm going to title this, but I'll think of something. But anyway, that's all I have right now, and let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm not a, hey man, why don't you just hit that like button and why don't you subscribe? And I don't do that. I believe that people have free will, and that if you want, well, some will say we don't have free will. They say it's determinism. I see kind of both. We can make up our mind. Determinism is, this is how I was kind of conditioned in life to do things. But you do have the ability to go, well, I do or don't want to do this. So it's up to you. Like, don't like, subscribe, don't subscribe. Don't watch a video, which that if you haven't, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. I'll be back with more. And so until next time, I am David Kramer, the Critical Thinking Christian.